Namaste, I'm Layover in Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, to experience Thamel, the heart of its tourist industry and commercial center. Visit many of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, ancient holy Buddhist temples, and one of the oldest Hindu temples in the country, and witness its traditional funeral rituals. And to see the recovery progress from 2015 earthquake. Not to forget, trying out lots of inexpensive and tasty street food, all in 14 hours, under $60, all done safely, inexpensively, and easily. Anything I can do, you can do. Alright, welcome to Kathmandu, the largest in the center of Nepal's history, art, culture, and economy, especially tourism. Being the gateway to Nepalese Himalayas, it is an important part of the city's economy. Today is home to a multi-ethnic population of 1.5 million, with Hindu and Buddhists being the majority. So, to start off, have your passport ready and let's get through the immigrations quickly, if possible.
I had to find a transit visa form, and I hope I find it. I haven't seen it yet, so wish me luck.
Actually, no. You need to prepare to face the artificial intelligence, the computer that is.
Next thing is I have to pay the visa fees, and if you're transit one-day visa, it will cost you $5 because I'm doing transit. I go to the transit section, right? Now I'm going to collect my bags. Right up there, this way. Shall we continue? Let's go.
Since there is no locker storage in this airport, I suggest you check your bags to the final destinations. But I'm a true genius and came up with an alternative for you. Why not hire a 4-day driver or drop it off at a local hostel for safekeeping, especially for an overnight layover. This is exactly what I did.
So next, customs inspection. I don't really have anything here, so it's fine. Try a lineup, and I hope it clear up soon.
Kathmandu is not that expensive, and you don't need that much money for a day, like $50 or about $80 with overnight accommodations. Now comes the bad news. The ATM in the arrival hall is frustratingly useless.
To save time, and decided to go and get the exchange $50. Demanded a receipt because
I recommend you exchange just enough for the taxi and exchange the rest when you get to the city.
oh, that's my driver right here. I'm really excited. Thanks for giving me a ride.
The taxi prices are fixed and posted at the arrival hall, costing about $7.50 to Thamel, an extra $1 after 9:30. So do not allow the driver taking you for a ride.
So right now I'm in Kathmandu Sun Hotel.
I'd like to thank my sponsor, Kathmandu Sunny Hotels, for providing me with accommodation for the overnight filming of this episode. They offer clean and comfortable rooms with beautiful rooftop patios, centrally located right at the heart of the city for a great price. Thanks, guys. After checking into the hotel, there's no time to waste. I hop into a taxi again and headed towards a famous monkey temple, and nothing is going to stop me other than the traffic jams. It can get pretty bad at times.
Right now we're at the entrance of the monkey temple, and this is after 10 minutes of taxi ride. The driver wants a 500, but we bargain out to 300. So always bargain and bargain hard when you're in the city.
If you come later afternoon, the admission is free, so get ready for some exercise with or without your bags. Oh yeah.
Almost there. There's even more hiking. The air quality here is really hard in my throat. But I'm gonna make it through, I'm gonna make it to the top. Oh my god. Okay, I finally made it. It's crazy. It's such a great hike, but I think it's all worth it. You get a nice panoramic view of the city, but I just hope next temple won't be this difficult.
Located at the west of Kathmandu and atop the Kathmandu Valley, Tibetan name Swayambhunath means sublime tree, and its ancient religious complex consists of varieties of shrines and temples, some dating back to the 5th century. Also known as Monkey Temple, as there's holy monkeys living in the northwestern part of the complex.
Now, as you can see, there's no shortage of monkey here in the temple. But just remember one thing, please do not feed them. Please do not interact with them, because when you feed them, they get used to human giving them food, and when then people don't come with food, they become aggressive. That will take people's purse and things like that.
Although the site is considered Buddhist, this temple is also revered by Hindus. The shapale is completely renovated in May 2010, its first major renovation since 1921 and 15th in the nearly 1500 years since it was built, with the dome reglazed using 20 kg of gold. After conquering the summit, you deserve an Olympic gold medal. Maybe not, but certainly a cheap eat. There is no shortage of delicious street food carts waiting for you at the base. Don't expect to lose weight here, especially if you like deep fried food, including Nepalese-style freshly fried chicken, fish, and meat. But the most famous is buffalo shapale, which is a Tibetan Nepalese meat pie filled with mouse buffalo and onions. Also, aloo chop, which is basically a deep-fried potato cutlet, a ball of spicy mashed potato that were crispy on the outside and flavored so wonderfully inside. But if you're health conscious, then try Nepalese-themed dumpling called Momo. Commonly consists of pork, chicken, goat, and buffalo meat mixed with onion, garlic, and ginger. After fueling up, it's time to head off the heart of center of tourism industry in Kathmandu for over 4 decades. It's about a half-hour walk or 15 minutes if you are taking a taxi, but beware of traffic and make sure to bargain. The ride shouldn't cost more than $2 to $3.
So after surviving the temple climb, I arrived here in Thamel. This is the heart of Kathmandu's tourist district.
Thamel is pretty overcrowded and it has been used by Westerners since the 1970s when the hippies in the region discovered it. The area is distinguished by its narrow alleys crowded with various money exchanges, hostels, and eateries.
So this is Thamel Chowk, and it is where all the nightlife are concentrated. And you can also come here and pick up some souvenirs and lots of gift shops around here.
This is your shopping mecca in Nepal. You can buy almost anything here. Some of the favorites are incense, so almost everywhere. Prayer flags and kukri stores. There are a number of bookstores, outdoor outfitters, and gift shops, especially with a wide range of selection of handmade souvenirs by locals. But once again,
make sure you bargain hard. It's a part of local culture.
Next, we'll visit the Kathmandu's Durbar Square. It's a nice 20 minutes walk or a few minutes away by bicycle rickshaw. The Durbar Square is a generic name used to describe the plazas in the area opposite in front of the old royal palace of the former Kathmandu kingdom. Sadly, many of the ancient buildings and palaces listed as UNESCO World Heritage Site collapsed or badly damaged during the 2015 earthquake.
So this is Kathmandu Durbar Square. It's in front of the royal palace of the former Kathmandu kingdom. Now it's surrounded by magnificent architectures. Many of them are very ancient, and all of them are actually UNESCO World Heritage Site. But sadly, many got destroyed in the 2015 earthquake.
This is also the location of Helaman Doka Palace Complex, which is a loyal Nepalese residence until 19th centuries and is where major ceremonies such as coronation of Nepalese monarch took place. The palace is decorated with elaborate carved wooden windows and panels and houses the King Turpawan Memorial Museum. It consists of temples, idols, open court water fountains, and more. Before the unification of Nepal, it consists of small kingdoms, and Durbar Square is the most prominent remnants of those old kingdoms in Nepal. And this is the last place we visit before calling it a night. Next morning, thanks to Kathmandu Stunning Hotel, a traditional Nepalese breakfast awaits me.
This is an amazing little breakfast we have. It's porridge with amazing looking egg almonds. And of course, you can't forget the tea, some sugar. So with that being said, I'm going to quickly eat.
But the breakfast had to be quick since we need to visit 2 more historical sites. But the good news, they are both located near the airport. The first, Boudhanath Stupa, a UNESCO World Heritage Site situated 11 kilometers from the center and northeastern outskirts of Kathmandu.
This is the Boudhanath Temple. It's a major temple here in Kathmandu, but it's also a World Heritage Site because it's sacred to Buddhists all over the world.
Its Buddhist stupa dominates the skyline. It's one of the largest in the world. Built sometime around 14th centuries, the huge meditative monument is said to have created just after the passing of Buddha. Today, it's one of the most popular tourist sites in Kathmandu. After the construction of this huge complex, it quickly became a focal point of worship and offering in the area. The structure of the building consists of a giant dome, on top which sits a Buddha's pyramid tower. Originally, Stupa spot was an important trade route from Tibet which allowed for steady stream of possible convert. Tibetan merchants had rested and prayed here for many centuries. When the refugees entered Nepal from Tibet in 1950s, many decided to live around Boudhanath. The Stupa said to have entombed a remain of Kasa Buddha.
This temple was badly damaged in the April 2015 earthquake and destroyed most part of the structure. But the reconstruction started shortly after in May, and by 2016 November it was completely rebuilt at the cost of 230 million rupees. Those bells are something that the patrons do because it brings the inner peace within.
The concept of the prayer wheel is a physical manifestation of phrase turning a wheel of Dharma. According to the lineage text on the prayer wheel, it is used to accumulate wisdom and merit in form of a good karma and to purify negativity from the bad karma.
Bring good luck, successful.
The last destination is about 20 minutes walk away or 10 minutes ride. The famous and sacred Pashupatinath Hindu temple complex is located on the banks of Bagmali River and a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1979.
We can't go through here because this entrance is only reserved for Hindus, but we can go to the other side and still get a full view of the temple. So this temple is very sacred to Hindus, not only here in Nepal, but from all the world. As you can see, the lineup here, the existing structure is actually built by the 17th century and was restored by multiple kings and dynasties. Now, within the structure, there's a very ancient Saralinga. It's believed that it was not built by humans, but so that's why it's so sacred. Not even presidents or the king or anyone allowed to touch it except for the high priest.
Although it is not known for certain when the temple was built, but Pashupatinath Temple existence dates back to 400 BC. The ritually oriented Padanka houses the sacred holy symbol of Lord Shiva. There are many legends describing as to how the temple came to existence here. The current temple was erected anew in the 15th century by the Kshatriyali king after the previous building was consumed by termites. There's a famous legend or described every day a cow used to visit a specific spot and offer milk to the ground. The owner of the cow saw her one day and got suspicious, so he dug out the place and found Joylingas of Lord Shiva. Slowly, more and more people gathered around this existing spot to worship, and Lord Pashupatinath got popular while this place became a pilgrim center. There are many uniquely artistic paintings and sculpture in different parts of the temple, and the smaller temple within, like this one.
So one of the most interesting temples and the oldest in this complex is Kathmandu Temple. It's built in 6th century and it has different central poses. So the reason it's called Kama Sutra is because it protects the temple lighting from the natural disaster.
At the both sides of each door of the temple, there are images of gods and goddesses as bearers. Almost all these paintings are done in gold. Each and every being which supports the roof of the temple is sculpted with pictures depicting different types of sexual poses. Death is something that none of us looking forward to, but one must eventually face regardless of religion, and Hinduism is no exception.
So there's a cremation going on right now over on that side. And it's a tradition for Hinduism and Buddhism for the body to be cremated after one passes away. In fact, they do that pretty quickly and not wait for a long period of time. The reason is our body contains 5 elements: sky, earth, water, air, and fire. And we have to return that back to the nature. It's also important to cremate ourselves in order to get rid of any impurities, such as desire, lust, and others.
However, in a positive way, witnessing death can remind us of our limited time here and motivate us to pursue goals, find happiness, and the reality that we are born with nothing and leave with nothing.
So a few things to keep in mind. Babies are never cremated because they already pure. For the rest of the deceased, the first process is actually cleaning the body by washing it. They don't wash the whole body, only the feet, which is the most dirtiest part of the body, and also the face, which is the most beautiful part of the body.
My clock is ticking and it's time for the taxi to take me back to the airport. Remember to always allocate 2 hours prior to your check-in, and this is why.
We're heading back into the airport for my departure to Istanbul. And I can tell you, please come really early because it's really chaotic here. The lineup outside stretched for like 45 minutes and we haven't even got to security checks yet. Another reason you should come early is because you have to fill out those nuisance departure forms. So there's an example of how it looks like. So please, if you're going to do a layover, don't be late. Here's another security screening, and it's pretty irritating actually because this is after the lounge. So if you go into the lounge and you forgot, if you come here late, you might miss your flight. So this airport is very inefficient.
Oh yeah, not only have to go to the security and metal scanners into the airport, but also multiple checks inside. So let's speed things up by always having your passport ready. With that being said, I hope you're able to make the most of your time here. Have a safe and amazing layover here in Kathmandu. See you next time and have a pleasant flight. Namaste.